So
Right.
Luke
Exactly right.
19.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I talk to different, whether it's productivity type people or even reading productivity books or, podcasts or, I've had some opportunity to talk to some productivity coaches. And a lot of them start with, you want to start with the end in mind and kind of think about the legacy that you're going to leave and how people after you are going to think about you and what you did and what you were able to accomplish or what you did for them with the relationships you left.
When you are done.
That's right, when you're done, right?
Right.
So write your own obituary and then live that out. And that's kind of the starting point. And I have no interest in approaching it that way. I mean, I get what they're saying, and I want to approach it like a Christian and live this life out, not by looking in the rear view mirror, seeing what's behind me, but I want to live this life for the next life. And so the parable of the Minas presents our life here as even a training ground or a probation period to be able to bring a return to the master while he is conquering his kingdom and then be set up to rule with the authority that the master gives us. Like I'm after those 10
Yeah, when
cities
he returns.
when he
When
returns.
he comes back to find out what we've done with what he's given us in this time, when he returns and then gives us the rewards, the work to do in his kingdom, when he comes back, what we
That's
have
right.
done now will be in some measure related to what responsibility he gives us going forward.
Yep.
So, not that we're done.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's similar to the parable of the talents, but one of the key differences is in the talents, each servant received a different measure of talents, 1, 2, 5. But they brought back the same percentage return. So they all either 2x'd or 1x'd in that way, where he didn't bring anything back, or the other ones doubled the investment. Where in the minas, each servant got 1 mina, and they brought back a different level of return. Somebody, 4x'd it, somebody 10x'd it. And so to be able to utilize the resources, opportunities, gifts, abilities at your disposal to bring the greatest return back to the master so that he can set you up for as much blessing and as much even authority and rule in the new heavens and new earth after his return is the kind of life that we want to live. And that is a sort of life that is heavenly minded for the earth's good in that way, where you're thinking about the future and you're thinking about what's next. And in that thought process, you're applying yourself here and now. You're not just rearranging furniture on the Titanic. You are trying to bring a real, legitimate return. And whatever sphere you're in, if it's business, if you're in your family, with your wife, with your kids, in your church, if you're in maybe not as a business owner, but as a worker in a business, you're still involved in that work, whether you're in some kind of institution, educational institution with science, with art, whatever that return is what you're after. And so that all are yours mindset, because all of those spheres belong to Christ. Christ is Lord over them all. We don't have to use them as just a means to an end, like we've talked about here before, but the return there is actually being productive in those spheres, bringing the return that is relevant to whatever area you're involved in. And so that's some of that mindset even coming out of that parable of the Minas.